Hey everybody, Reaper of Trees here. Welcome to the channel. Just figure I'll try out this new lapel mic, see how that works, and maybe tell a story or two. Use it this advantage or this vantage point to be able to give some tips or tricks to anyone who wants to learn or wants to even see what it's like, even just starting out. So, anyway, I've had a hard time. I struggle with mental illness, as I said before, but not so clearly because I'm working on that. Social anxiety and everything. I have not been social for over a decade. No friends, no nothing, just work. And it was fine for a while, but my mental capabilities kind of slipped and I ended up in a bad place. So, let's get off of that. That was a little bit about this and how difficult this is, but this is my attempt at coming back out into the world. So, let's start off with a little warm and fuzzy. I was thinking about a story. I was going through some pictures and videos that I have on my phone from out in the woods here, and came across a video that I have of the time where I saved a baby squirrel. So I was processing, much like this, and it was some bigger wood. And I noticed, because you're always looking on the logs, you're always looking either way where you're going to place it. If anything is being caught up in the treetop and being drugged towards you, you might end up getting slapped in the machine. Could even come through the glass here. I've seen it happen. So you always have to be aware. Anyway, going back, little baby squirrel hanging out on the tree. So I stopped. It was the middle of, like, we just got back from breakup. I think it was the end of May, and it was the end of May. And it was probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 28 degrees Celsius. And this little guy was in shock. No idea what was going on. Probably left alone for a couple of days. And was very dehydrated. But I was working. I felt bad for the little guy, but he had to go and do what nature does. So I actually picked him up, brought him across the street from where I was processing, put him in a shady tree, gave him a cup full of water, and then just went back to processing. 5 minutes later, I look down on my trackside here where I'm piling, and he's there looking up at me. I'm like, oh, I immediately stopped. I do the same thing again. I only had a half hour left to the end of my shift, but I stopped, pick him up, bring him to the other side, make sure he's shaded, and I said to myself, if he was still there at the end of the shift, that I was going to help the little guy out. So sure enough, the end of the shift comes along, and he's still there, shaken, but drawn to my scent for some reason. So we travel back to camp, and as soon as we get to camp there, we got some bread and soaked in milk, whole milk, like for the nutrients anyway, as best we could. And took a little bit of time and ended up nursing him back to health. When I first found him, he was only like my scent, so anyone else came close, it was a hiss, it was anything, and always kind of looked for me. But over time, kind of got attached to the people. It was a great little guy. And then because I was from away, always living on the East Coast, working out west. And so I couldn't really take him home as much as I wanted to. But there was plenty of locals that were willing to give him a good home and did. And as far as I hear, he's having a great time still. So what I'll do is I'll probably cut in a video or two of the little guy. One where you kind of see how bad of shape he was in, and then two where he was a lot more lively and running around and enjoying himself. Anyway, I think loggers get a bad rap for nature and like what we do, even though it is a necessity. Trees have a lifespan too. They do rot from the inside, and utilizing them before they do is the best we can do as well as the replantation the next season, and then no one comes in and touches for 80 years. I mean, it's a good cycle. It's a renewable. Anyway, I could go on for hours about that crap. Sorry. There we go. Yeah, so we do get a bad rap for not caring about nature, and it's just not the case. You know, we are kind, warm-hearted souls. It's a brotherhood out here. It's a very lonely life, especially on the night shift. There's only two of us out here, so like we look after each other, and you form the brotherhood, and that's all you got. You don't talk to no one during the day. You don't see anyone when you get out here. You just go to work, the two of you, for days, weeks, months on end. So we're a lot softer than most give credit for, and most of us will probably even act. We're all tough lumberjacks and whatnot. Anyway, I'm just messing around here, testing my strength. I just recently found out I'm most likely autistic and ADHD, and that helps in this setting to do a lot of thinking. All you have time to do is think. So if you focus your energy on self-reflection and getting better, it's amazing what you can come up with. I struggled for years with depression and anxiety, and I didn't know why, and nothing seemed to make sense until I started learning about both autism and ADHD, and then plugging that into my past. But I was able to like completely heal because things made sense. I'm going for a diagnosis here soon, so I'll keep everyone updated on that. But right now, to keep myself on track, I wear an armband. Let's see if I can hit the light here. I wear an armband. It's every day. I always put it on. On the front is a new message, as for as long as I need it until it stays in my head. Self-care every day. I don't know if you realize how difficult it is for tedious tasks such as brushing your teeth, but that is a friggin' nightmare. I can cut thousands of trees in a shift, and it's literally checklist. Get out of truck, get in machine, cut wood. But it's not the same with those tasks that everyone else can seem to do, and I'm finding out that I'm not alone in that. Number 2, it says get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And that is one of the reasons why I started these videos, because my comfortability was being socially isolated and being lonely, and no way to live. So my attempt at being uncomfortable is talking to you guys. And then on the inside, I have a checklist, making sure that I do everything like shower, brush teeth, yoga, stretching, workout, no snacking. Take time for yourself. Bad crap happens all the time. Stop being comfortable being the victim. You have choices. That's my message for the last 2 weeks, I think. Until that sinks into my brain, that's going to be there. And because of my sensory issues, this drives me nuts. This drives me foolish. I constantly feel it. I constantly think about it. But I also have a photographic memory, so I know everything that it says. So even while I'm working, this is constantly going through my brain. And at the same time, because of the discomfort that is causing and the music that I play, it keeps me grounded from my flashbacks from my PTSD. So it's utilizing a few different things that would be considered a disadvantage and using it to my benefit. Because apparently I have no working memory, I also employ a notebook. Just picked a cheap one up at our 3-pack on Amazon. Freaking love it. And anything that I think of that I need while I'm out here, little puzzles or anything like that, if there's anything. Hell, even ideas. Talk about a little squirrel. Yeah. So, That's been a big help as well. And I'm attacking this at all sides. I've struggled with mental illness my whole life and basically by myself in the woods. I literally just sought professional help last year, and it was for 10 hours of finding out that I know exactly everything I'm supposed to do, but I can't put it into action, which made me learn more about executive dysfunction, and here we are today. Uh, Fortunately, with the ADHD, autism brain, I also have a high IQ. I've been tested several times. Um, I also wrote the military entrance aptitude test and scored 100 for third person in Canada at the age of 16. Anyway, couldn't do that because, yeah, all the brain shit. Crap. Oh, whatever. Yeah, so I apologize for dead air. I apologize for awkwardness. I am trying my best here to put myself out there in a more positive way. Be positive. It's made a huge difference in my mindset. But, oh yeah, where I was going with a higher IQ. I've always been outside the box. I've never thought like anybody else. And I have felt isolated my entire life, even when I was around people, because I could blend into everybody. I was a chameleon. But I don't think anyone could really understand me, or I didn't think that anyone could. So it was a very, very lonely experience. But also being self reflective and intelligent, I was able to utilize a lot of my, I guess, what they consider to be downsides of having mental illness and use them to my advantage. Uh, yeah, even growing up in a traumatic childhood, developing survival instincts, becoming an empath, being able to pick out problems anywhere. Uh, it's all on how you use it. It took me a lot of years to get to this point where I'm grateful for all of everything that I've been through. And yeah, I mean, it makes me who I am today. And I'm absolutely loving who I am today. So, yeah, we'll get into the mental health probably in a whole bunch of different parts after. I feel I don't want to talk too much. Anyway, everyone, peace out, be safe. Reaper of Trees signing out, and feel free to like and subscribe. I'm trying to do a little blue collar work here, and the like and subscription stuff, I'm seeing that it actually can help out. So if you do that, be much appreciated. Everyone, be safe.